Hello, and welcome to a little art camp I like to call Backyard Bugs. I have been really enjoying my summer with all the beautiful butterflies and bees and dragonflies flying all around and caterpillars and ladybugs. Can you think of a few that you think are really interesting? Wow. Today, we are going to start with my favorite, and if you can see right up there behind my head, there's a beautiful little monarch that just emerged from her chrysalis this morning, actually just before I began recording. So I'm going to start with a little butterfly project for you, and I hope you really like it. It's super amazingly easy. All right, so all you're going to need for this project are some magazine pages that you are okay to pull out. Ask your parents and pick the most colorful ones. It does not matter what's on them because you won't be able to tell. All right, so pick some colorful magazine pages and pull those out. My Aunt Ruth gave me some wonderful food and family crafts, so I think these even come to you from the grocery store or whatever. You can use your Kroger ads too. Food ones work great. This one is a taste of home. They just have really bright colors and pages. So pick a few pages that have lots of color. That's the first thing. You need 2 for each butterfly. The next thing you're gonna need is a pair of scissors. All right, so paper, scissors, and finally, pipe cleaners. And I have a whole package here. You only need 1 per butterfly, and if you do a tiny butterfly, you only need half, so then you can make 2 tiny ones. All right, so 3 things: pipe cleaners, scissors, and you need magazine paper. Okay, are you ready? Grab those, press pause, and come on back. All right, welcome back. So I made my first one with the instructions from a website I found on Pinterest called there'sjustonemommy.com. And I didn't really follow the directions carefully, so do you see my one wing is kind of sticking out? And that is because when you're folding, you need to make sure that the folds are about 1/2 inch. And so I at first didn't get out my ruler, which I should have, to find out 1/2 inch is about, for my grown-up finger, about a finger's width. So my folds shouldn't be bigger than that. But my first one, this one, it's much bigger. It's almost 2 fingers width. So it's still cute, but it didn't turn out great. But it's colorful, and you kind of get the gist. So I tried it again because I wanted to have a good sample for you, and I made this little beautiful butterfly. This one turned out perfectly, didn't it? And I have 1 pipe cleaner, that's all. And then I thought, what would happen if I used half a sheet of paper? And voila, I have this little tiny one. Isn't that beautiful too? You cannot even tell they're magazine, right? Pages. So pretty, and it's a great way to use up those old magazines that are just kind of sitting around and your mom and dad don't need, or aunt or grandma or uncle or grandpa, they don't need those anymore. So I'm gonna show you some nice easy steps to making this beautiful butterfly. All right, first step, the top wings of your butterfly, you need a nice big bright beautiful, and this one's pretty on both sides. So I am going to first square up. The top wing is actually a square, and the easiest way, if you have a rectangle, to make a square is to fold it. So I'm taking the top corner and I'm gonna pull it down until it reaches this edge. And once I get that, I'm gonna crease it. You see that? And now there's this piece, right? If I cut off this piece, I will have a nice square. So I'm gonna do that. And you probably have done that for snowflakes and other paper crafts before. Make a nice square. So I'm gonna do that. It doesn't have to be perfect. Don't worry about your line. You don't have to measure it. And the other thing I do, since I did tear this out of the magazine, I am just gonna trim it while it's folded because it's easier to see my straight line. And it, again, does not matter. No one's ever gonna be able to tell. So these are going to turn out to be the top wing, this beautiful square we just made, all right? That's the top wing. Now I'm gonna look through my papers and pick the bottom color. And they don't have to be the same, actually. I think it's kind of fun if they're not. So I think that one I'm gonna go with blue on top and this kind of coral salmon color on the bottom, okay? For that one, you're just gonna fold it exactly in half. And I know you can't always see my table. I tried to line up my camera better. All right, fold it in half, all right? And with your scissors now, you're gonna give all 4 corners a little curve, all right? And how you do that is start on the side of the corner and just turn with your other hand. And I've taught you this before if you've seen my glitter and glue with Mrs. Eichhorst website. I tell you to turn your wrist. It's all in the wrist, that's what they say, right? Whether it's golf or tennis or stirring, right? Some kind of soup on the stove, it's all in the wrist. So you're just turning your wrist, your hand that's not cutting. If you're a righty, that's your left hand is turning, or opposite if you're a lefty. All right, so let's try it again. We're gonna hold our scissors up a little bit off the corner here, and I am just gonna start cutting with this hand and turning with this hand. And they don't have to be perfect. We do want them symmetrical, so curves on every side. All right, and I'm gonna straighten up this edge like I did my last one. And now I'm gonna curve even the folded side. So all 4 corners have to get a curve. All right, and one more, cut and turn. All right, so now what shape is that? Yeah, kind of an oval, right? All right, so we have that, and when you open it, looks like the number 8, right? All right, good. So we're done with the scissors. I'm gonna put those away. And I'm gonna pick, this time, I think I'm gonna pick a white pipe cleaner. I haven't used that color yet. All right, so I have my pipe cleaner ready to go, but I don't need it just yet. Let's start folding. I'm gonna start with the easiest one first, and that is the bottom wing. The bottom wings are gonna be starting at the top or bottom of your 8. We're not folding them sideways. We're keeping it kind of like an 8. And we're gonna do like a fan. Did you ever make a fan that you used in school because you were getting kind of hot, or just maybe needed something to do? So we're gonna do it like a fan. So we're gonna fold it about, see my fingers width, and that might be a little skinnier, but that's okay. Like this. Now I'm gonna flip it, and I'm gonna do the same width, like this. So see, back and forth, back and forth. And I'm gonna do this whole entire paper, back and forth, until I get to the bottom. And it doesn't matter if it's perfect or exactly the same every single time, but you can see my fan, right? So that's what we're doing with these butterfly wings. We're just making like a little fan, all right? And these really cool shapes, like I said, that I found on Pinterest are what really makes the butterfly look kind of like a butterfly, all right? Now I got to the middle of mine, and you can see it's a little bit off. It's a little bigger, but that's okay. Just keep going. Okay, back and forth and back. Can you see me a little bit here if I do it closer? Back and forth and back and forth and back. And if you're not sure check with your mom, but again, it's like a fan. Right, you've done this before. Now I'm gonna set this aside with my pipe cleaner. It's ready to go. Now we need to do this one. This one, the only trick is that you need to start at the corner, right? To give those wings this nice butterfly looking shape, okay? So I'm gonna start at the corner. Remember, just about a finger's width, and obviously your corner is gonna be a little chubbier because it's a triangle. But after that, it's about the right size, okay? So back and forth, you're gonna go. It doesn't take too long, and really, you don't need glue. You don't even need markers. You know what would be really cool is to put beads maybe on your pipe cleaner. So you could think of ways to kind of jazz it up a little bit. And boys and girls, what if you just don't have pipe cleaners at home? Is there anything else you can think of that you could tie the middle of your butterfly with? Yarn, good one. How about twist tie? Those little ties that you get with the baggies. You could put a couple of those together, and I bet you those would work. So a twist tie would work too. Then it would really be just recycled things, right? Because usually those twist ties sit in the bottom of your junk drawer, at least mine do. Okay? All right, a couple more, just about there. All right, so it should look skinny and long like this, right? But look at how pretty it'll be when we open it up a little bit. So now I'm going to find about the middle of each, and I'm gonna put my long triangle one on top, and that looks really cool. Now I'm gonna flip it around and see how it looks the other way, just to kind of play around with the colors. Yes, I think I like this even better. Isn't that amazing? Oh my goodness, that one's gonna be my favorite one so far. So now you're gonna take your pipe cleaner, and see I'm still holding the middle, and you're gonna find about the middle of this. If you use exactly the middle, like I like to do, by folding it into a V, one of them probably will be, one of the antennas will be a little bit longer. So once I find the V, I kind of start a little bit over, just so I can wrap it around a couple times and it's not awkward, but that's okay. If you do have uneven antennas, it doesn't matter. But if you don't like that, you can always give it a little trim, because we have our scissors out. So see how I got it going? Now I don't want it to be like this because the antennas would be popping out the side of its body. So I'm going to bring this one up, and I'm gonna twist this one around a couple times just so it stays. All right, and there we go. Now most butterflies don't have perfectly straight antennas, so you can play with those. You can wrap it around your finger and give it a little twirl. Like I said, you could grab some really pretty beads. That would be so nice to put on the ends, because butterflies do have that little bulb on the end of their antenna. But voila, is that not the cutest, most beautiful butterfly you've ever made out of recycled materials? Both sides are pretty, aren't they? I thought it would be fun to maybe like Alexander Calder, make a whole bunch of them and grab a hanger, a coat hanger, and make a mobile out of them. That would be really pretty. They'd all just be hanging. A little bit of fish wire or yarn, and you can have a beautiful little display of butterflies. So there you go. If you don't have magazine, what could you use instead? Maybe scrapbook paper? Good one. Could you paint your own paper? That would be cool. It might be harder to fold if you use painted paper, because painted paper is a little thicker from the paint, but you could do that. So take a picture of yours and be sure to post them on our Anton Art Center page, or you can also post them on my Glitter and Glue with Mrs. Eichhorst page. I'll be posting this video there too. And I hope to see you back for our next backyard bugs activity. All right, thanks so much. Oh, shall I show you my butterfly? I named this one Sawyer after a character from a TV show, but not knowing it was a girl. And I don't ever know that until they actually emerge, because the caterpillars you cannot tell. So this is Sawyer. I gotta be very careful because she just emerged. Can you see? I'm trying to find a good, oh, there you go. See? Stretching her wings. But she's holding on to her chrysalis until her wings are completely dry. So I gotta be very careful. All right, boys and girls, I will see you again soon, and I hope you're all doing well, staying safe, and being happy this summer. And enjoy your backyard. Look for those bugs, because we're going to be making some more soon. All right, thanks. See you soon. Bye-bye.